I quickly want to make a very quick request from people that want to talk to me, especially over the phone. I don't talk to people over the phone. I don't give out my number to anybody. The best that you can do if you want to communicate with me is to go down to my email. It is under about of my channel. Just click on the profile. Then there are three dots. You click on that, boom, you see my email address right there. Even when you do email me, that does not guarantee you that I will respond to you immediately, because I am getting a lot of emails. And I check which ones that I should prioritize, that are usually it's stuff that is on people's tongues. So if you want my WhatsApp number, I don't have WhatsApp. Totally. Probably I'm the only South African that does not have a WhatsApp. And I don't give out my numbers, period. I hope we understand each other on that. Even if you look at my contacts, 7 people are there. 2 of those are my siblings. The other ones, it's content creators that I have forged some kind of friendship with. It ends there. No one else. And my phone hardly ever rings. Probably in a year, it will ring, let's say 11 times, because I curated it that way. Anyways, guys, we have a serious problem. And I foresaw this problem before. Somebody asked me, what did I mean in a video that I posted yesterday where I said, we are trying to prevent a civil war. So they said that got them waking up, because they were not quite sure what I meant by that. And it so happened to be a white South African. And I was glad that it was a white South African that asked that question, because if one did actually happen, you and I are not exempt. And I don't think white South Africans are paying attention. Africans from the continent, they are asking black South Africans to wipe you guys clean. I don't know if you know what that means. Every time when we are speaking against illegality, they pull you in to their evil, whatever it is that you want to call it. So if a civil war had to break out, they are coming for you so that it looks as if it's us who is doing it to you. And you are not paying attention. You are not paying attention, because in your companies, in your restaurants, in your hotels, in your homes, they are your favorites, aren't they? Keep an eye on them, South Africans. They are asking us to take up arms and wipe you out like they did the whites in their own countries. That's what they're asking us to do. So besides that, this is not just to the white person that asked me this question, but it's also for every South African to understand that what we are having in South Africa, particularly with people that are undocumented, we are all sitting ducks. All of us. I saw a video of I'm not sure, because sometimes with Asians, you may actually miss the mark, but it was an Asian man that is, I think is a philosopher, if I'm not mistaken, if not a lecturer in one of those prestigious Ivy League universities in the US, where he was basically arguing that xenophobia is necessary because it keeps away civil war. You have an influx of illegal foreigners. They get to their new home. They look around. They don't see themselves. They don't see their cultures. They don't see their religion. They don't hear their languages. They can't identify or read signs in the countries that are hosting them. And then they begin to make demands. When these demands are not met, they grow resentment. Resentment grows to anger. Anger grows into hatred to a point where they begin to unalive natives of that land. So the natives will be crying about one thing about them. Let's say, for example, something like not integration. What's that other word I'm looking for? What's the word? Where you assimilation. They refuse to assimilate. They speak their own languages. They have their own cultures. And the natives are like, I'm sorry, you are in, for example, England. You should speak English so we all can understand. And that also creates that resentment, anger, distrust. And subsequently, these two forces, they are demanding for their spot in a new country and they want to be recognized. And the natives are saying, no. You need to assimilate. And one day this becomes a clash, a civil war. So I want you to listen to this gentleman. I'm going to play his video. Listen critically, because critical thinking in South Africa, it is not our forte. Again, education system, I understand. It's not your fault. But try your level best to understand what this man is saying. This time around, I think I'm going to put the video this side. Here we go.
You embrace too much multiculturalism, which is what the Europeans are doing, it will lead to eventually suicide, national suicide, okay? All right? You're talking about like civil war possibly emerging in Europe over the next 5 to 10 years. You look at what's happened in Britain, in France. Their populations are being replaced. You know, and I'm not saying this is, I'm not saying, you know, refugees are bad. What I'm saying is that nations need to protect their own identity and value system, because that's what gives meaning and purpose to the local population. Yeah. I don't understand why people are allowed to immigrate wherever, you know, but you just shouldn't be able to like pack your bags and then move to America or Dubai or Singapore. You should have to stay where you are and fight for your community, because that's what we've done throughout human history. Like if we always had the option of like just like, if we're unhappy, just moving somewhere else, we would never have human civilization. Human civilization is a coming together of people with a common bond, with a common sense of identity, and then building on top of that, right? So I mean, I feel we've gone too far, and we've embraced. I mean, like the very common phrase now, very popular phrase is suicidal empathy, right? Where you care too much about your neighbor, and when you should really be looking after your own house.
Well, I think you get the crux of what this gentleman is saying. I fully agree with him. He was just raw about it. I mean, using very strong terminologies, because that's how serious things are. Every nation must guard their sovereignty jealously. Every nation must guard their identity very jealously. That also includes if you are a religious state, if you're a secular state, a constitutional democracy like we are, they must be protected. We must not allow an outsider come in and tries to dilute, try to change things so that it suits them, because the moment it suits them and they get away with it, you know what they are going to do? Yeah. They are going to make changes that you are not going to like. An invasion, a colonialism. These people will want their languages added on top of the 12 official languages that we have. They are going to demand for this and demand for that. And they will also want to have their own communities because they wouldn't want to assimilate. You must assimilate to them in your own country. But they will never do it. Yeah, the hosts. So we are already seeing these things. And if you look at the territory wars that are going on in the CBD, and then you having spaza shop mafia, where a South African gentleman, Mr. Kubek, kidnapped probably, And probably the worst case scenario everybody is avoiding, and I'm also avoiding it, may have happened to him. Simply because a Pakistani or Ethiopian or Somali, where they come from, this is exactly what they do. They don't know that when they come to South Africa, we have this thing called competition. We even have competition court, competition laws. But no. They don't come to you and your country and learn about your way of life, your rule of law. What am I allowed and what am I not allowed to do, especially if I want to establish a business in South Africa? What are their laws or what their attitude about competitions? No, they want to monopolize. Monopoly in South Africa is against the law. That is why if you open a spaza shop next to my spaza shop and then you reduce your prices so low that it cripples me, I, as a South African citizen, I have the right to go and lay a competition lawsuit against my neighbor who does the exact same business as me. Unfortunately, once again, the useless small business minister, this is her duties to educate businesses that competition is healthy in a thriving and vibrating democracy. That if you are going to lower your prices so that your next door neighbor who does the exact same business continues to have these standard prices, this one can be punished. The competition court will find them guilty and they will fine them, so that the other competitors understand that all of us, if bread is 150, it must be 150 on both sides. I can't be 150 and you are 80 cents. That is unfair competition, and the law of this country does not allow that. Now Mr. Gubega is missing because he refused to sell his tuck shop to a Somali who has no business opening a business in South Africa. Guess whose responsibility is that to make sure that doesn't happen? Yeah, the so-called small business minister, whatever it is that they are called, sitting on her laurels. Now her very own citizen is missing because she's sleeping on the job. And then you go downtown Johannesburg. That chaos. Allegedly, there's been at least 13 of these unalivings in the city of Johannesburg. Why? Because small streets, which is the busiest when it comes to informal businesses, which are anyways occupied by Somalis, Ethiopians, Nigerians, Ghanaians, and all the other illegal foreigners that are in the country, none of them invested 5 million rand according to our immigration law for them to run those businesses. And guess who is not doing her job? And now, because there's no more space on small streets, they are wiping each other out, because when the owner is wiped out, that shop obviously is going to close. And guess who comes and occupy it? Yeah, you got it. That is what they are doing. Sooner or later, they are going to spot South Africans who run businesses on the very same strip in downtown Johannesburg, because they want that spot. And that spot is busy, and a South African is occupying that spot, which rightfully belongs to a South African who doesn't have to invest 5 million rand to run that small business there. Guess whose responsibility is that? To make sure that those South Africans are safe? I must say, I saw a silver lining, and I was so impressed when I was listening to this young man in that whole chaos in the CBD. I was like, oh my gosh, look at him. He is so young and he's running his own business. Okay, I don't want to talk too much. I will make my commentary once I am done with you watching this, and tell me you're not impressed. Here we go.
We are not safe because we do not know what they are fighting about, and they are scaring away our customers, because this is why we're working here right now. It's saying we were forced to close, and now we have opened again but we are scared. We don't know what is gonna happen next, because this is scary, guys. This is very, very scary. Cela bayilamule le nto le bayiyeke into yabo le bayenzayo, because we don't understand what's happening. Can they stop shooting each other? Because they are disturbing our businesses and they are scaring our customers away.
I suka madoda. You know what? This is an eyewitness. He says he saw the whole shooting happens, but he did not see who the shooters are, but he did see the bodies. What did you hear he does there? He even has his own business card. So professional. A South African. And these are the sort of people that the Minister of Small Business is supposed to be targeting. And put them in a formal, or find them, because clearly he's making business, he's been there for at least 7 years on Small Street. How does the Minister of Small Business and whatever it is it's called to recognize this young man, to put this young man in a more formal and protected store? He sells makeup, eyelashes, stuff that the ladies, they buy almost every day. What a brilliant business plan. What a brilliant businessman he is. And he's so young. Same as Mr. Kubeka. Young man. Nowhere to be found, because people who are not supposed to be here felt comfortable bringing their pirate culture to South Africa. I'm the captain now. And you don't want to move from this ship deck? That's what they did to Mr. Gubek. And the government, Mr. Kachalia, I didn't see a statement from you, sir. I still haven't seen a statement from you. Or I did not hear an indignation or outrage from either Ramaphosa or Ronald Lamola. But if it was an illegal foreigner that's gone missing, we will not be hearing the end of it. Oh, they will make sure that whoever did it is found, and Mr. Kubeka found if he was a Somali or an Ethiopian. And what did our police officers do in Vosloorus? So to a point where the family had to call a politician in Herman Mashaba. Thank you, Mr. Herman Mashaba, for responding. Because many a times, people in communities, they want to rely on politicians and political parties, but they never come. But Herman Mashaba did. He pitched up. He abandoned a meeting that he was going to, and he turned around and went to Vosloorus. And I am saying to the people of Vosloorus, no shop owned by anybody that is not a South African operating until Mr. Mazwi Kubeka is found. And once he's found, dead or alive, they need to leave that township. And every other township must do the same thing, because you are in danger. You are now in danger. Our cities, we need to reclaim them. We need to find out. Show us proof that you are even paying tax. Show us proof. There is no way that you are going to introduce a culture of wiping each other because of competition. We have competition laws in this country. Yeah, when a useless minister of business, here's a young man, needs you. Be useful for once. You would have thought they will do what they always do. They will be in Vosloorus. I'm talking about the minister of business. She would have been in Vosloorus, seemed to be doing something for the salary she earns at the end of the month from taxpayers. I can't wait for 2029. Yes, sis. I just cannot wait for 2029. And fellow South Africans, please go support this young man. Young ladies, I know you want Mac. I know you want, maybe it's Maybelline. You want you want Fenty. I get it. I get it. But can you also support him? Please go support him in Small Street. Find his stall. I think his stall might be, well, you'll see. It's cosmetics that he sells. Gentlemen, maybe your girlfriend doesn't even use this. What is important here is the support that he needs to get from us. I would also go buy makeup. I don't wear makeup. I'm going to go to him. I will show you guys that, hey, I bought this, and that. Who knows? I might even give it away on my channel. Because we need to support him and he needs to be protected. They are fighting for territory. The moment they realize that it's got money, they're going to wipe him out. No, we cannot afford this. I would also like to speak to the councillor of Ward 49. Is it 49 or 59? That area. So what on earth is going on those pavements? What sort of a councillor? What exactly is your job there? And the way you speak about those Somalis and Ethiopians as if they are South Africans, you called a meeting about these unalivings. But no, you are not saying, okay, let me get Home Affairs involved in this meeting so that we get to understand in my city who is breaking the law and who is legitimately doing business in my city, particularly in my ward. The council, I think, is Ward 59, if I'm not mistaken, if it's not 49. So you're useless. The pavement. Have you seen the pavement? And just before I go on a lighter note, so when the gunshots went off in McDonald's and aliving those three Somali Ethiopian businessmen, people were running. Did you see that lady in purple dress? She was still packing her things. She didn't run like how all others did. To me, it was like, wow, this is such a South African thing because, wasn't it? But something purple, yes, she had on her. This is such a South African thing. We are not a nation that is riddled by soldiers coming to your village and wiping everybody out. These people know what a gun is. I think I would have done the same thing if I was her, because it's not something that we hear every day. I would also be packing. I'll be thinking, what is it? Cricket? Is there some sort of a celebration going on? But I'm seeing people running and she's showing, poor lady, she's packing her things and still looking around as if she is totally confused. Anyways, I saw Nigerians trying to attribute this to xenophobic attacks. You people, God is dealing with you anyway. So there's no way I'm going to say God will. He's already dealing. He left Nigeria for this very reason. Anyways, I don't know, guys. Please, whatever we do, please can Mazwi be found? And if anything happened to him, remember the example I gave about the hand grenade? I think somebody pulled the pin already. The pin is already pulled. The only thing that's left is for whoever pulled the pin to panic and throw it. Boom. And this is exactly what that video of that Asian man was saying we need to prevent by the necessity of xenophobia. Well, we are not xenophobic. We are patriots. We are a nation of people that just want to be left alone so that we can begin to rebuild our country. We've got children. We've got grandchildren that we're looking forward to have, and great-grandchildren. And when we are gone, we want to see them thrive, succeed, and live with a peace of mind that this is their country and they got good leaders saved from the white powder, kidnapping, human trafficking. Did you see Germany? Oh, you haven't seen Germany? Germany is crying about the very same thing we're crying about. And as a result, they're doing something about it. The German government and the Nigerian government, they had to sign some few things to send back Nigerians that are kidnapping girls, turn them into prostitutes, white powder. The atrocities that they're doing here, they were doing in Germany. And the German government says, apaya. Cyril Ramaphosa says, don't touch them. I'm talking about these criminals. I get Asaz, please, let's go support this young man. I was super impressed by him. He did not decide to sit and stand at my friend's container in the morning till the sun sets. He saw something. Ladies liked makeup, lashes, and all of that. And then he decided to open a business and supply because the demand is there. Okay, guys, please enjoy your Wednesday and be careful out there. Hashtag find Mazwi Kubega. Hashtag no spaza shop opens in Vosloorus until Mazwi is found. Or anywhere else in South Africa where a Mazwi is missing. Shut those stores until your loved ones are found. And those of you who are renting out your premises to them, I hope you'll be dealt with by the law in the harshest of ways. Anyways, let me leave the video right here and I'll see you later. Goodbye.